What's up, AfterBuzzers? You're here for The Flash Season 2, Episode 21, The Runaway Dinosaur, or as I call it, What the Kevin Smith?
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
You're just not the girl for me. No, I might be wrong, but I'm in love with Barry's mom.
And I don't blame you, Tauri, because she was awesome in this episode, but not as awesome as you just were. Oh my! I get like this is another.
Woo!
Well done, Tauri.
Another round. Thank you very much, guys. I'm Roxy Striar. You can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar. I've got Micheal Drew here.
Hey, I'm Micheal Drew. You can find me on Twitter at Micheal_Drew, Micheal EAL.
I'm Tauri Miller. You can find me at Tauri J, TAURI,
And who is this person that I usually see on Marvel shows coming to our universe?
Hey guys, I have traveled across universes from Earth 199,999
Yes.
to Earth 1. I'm Zach Wilson.
But you have been a Flash fan.
Oh, yeah.
We can accept you here at this table because you have Flash in your blood. And I hear you like DC more than Marvel.
That's what I heard.
I mean, maybe the Earth 1 version of me does. I can't speak for him.
I will
But-
take it. The version of you that goes to Speed Force land loves DC and
The one
loves
you
the
find
Flash.
there, we love.
Spoiler alert, we actually did find you and bring you. You were just kind of like floating there, and we disguised ourselves as Speed Force
Right.
and got you on this show.
Yes,
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
definitely.
Okay,
I follow you.
I want to start with the overall thoughts because I am feeling like this was the weirdest episode of television I've ever seen in my life, but also amazing. And just like so many words, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys about it. How did you feel, Micheal?
I liked the Speed Force place parts. I really enjoyed it. I liked the whole him trying to find himself.
Is that what we're calling it officially?
Yeah, Speed Force place, Speed Force
Yeah.
area,
Land.
Speed Force land.
SFP.
Yeah, the SFP. Yeah, I like that.
Cool.
So I like everything in the SFP, but the zombies parts, it just felt a little. I liked it, but I still couldn't wrap my mind around it because it was still kind of random to me.
All right,
know?
Tauri.
I thought it was. I agree. It was weird. Nah, not the weirdest thing I've seen because I watch anime and it's banana pants. But I thought it was really fun. Like it had moments that were very like heartstring tuggy, and it also just had some weird zombie stuff that was just like, all right, cool. Let's go for the ride. Like I think we needed a villain. I guess I'll go. We needed a villain that like wasn't gonna be too intrusive. So we just brought the guy back. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, and speaking of zombie stuff, you did happen to catch a lot of the fun zombie references we got. So
Oh, yeah.
I was glad to have you there. What did you think, Zach?
I love television that surprises me. And this just caught me. I cannot say that I was expecting Speed Force Place.
SFP, called by its proper name.
SFP
Yeah.
took me by surprise, and it was great for it. Like I enjoyed the stuff we're getting there because it wasn't just like, hey, here's a weird creature that you can run to. It was something otherworldly, literally and figuratively. It was fun. It was interesting, and it kept me guessing.
How long did it take you guys to figure out where the heck we were and what was going on? Like, did it take until finally Joe is like, we as the people of SFP land, or immediately were you like, oh, I know where he is. I know.
Well, I read the comic book, so I kind of figured out that he was gonna be like when he disappeared. I mean, we all kind of got that feeling last week that maybe he's gonna be lost in the Speed Force.
Though I will say that part of me was hoping he'd be in like the fifth dimension, and the like person he was running into was going to be Mr. Mixelpix, just because why not? But what we had was more emotional. It would have just been super random.
How do you know it's not?
That's true. He could just be hanging out in the Speed Force place.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was like I figured he could be like in the Speed Force, but once I think I had that idea, and then I like threw it away when somebody started talking because I didn't think that the Speed Force was going to become sentient. That was a concept I was not familiar with at all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And-
That threw me off too.
Yeah. So I started thinking like ancient beings. Are we on like Oa or something? Like where are we?
Right, and then also keeping in the back of your mind that Kevin Smith has his hand on this, so it's like, well, we really could be anywhere and everywhere at the same time. I thought he did an amazing job overall with this episode. I know there was a lot of build up to it, and when you do have a person coming in like Kevin Smith, everybody's talking about it. I mean, when was this even announced? Months ago. We've been anticipating this for a very long time.
As somebody who listens to a bunch of Kevin Smith podcasts, like
not only listens to.
yeah, I will fill in on the engineering side.
lucky guy.
But he's been talking about this on like every single one of his shows for months. So like we've heard like all of the build up to it, and the one thing is like he's been very open about the fact that he had no hand in the writing of this, and he didn't have any like really influence on even while they were shooting.
Do you feel like he's been open about that because he didn't think that the writing was what he wanted?
No, he was saying how much he loved it, but like it's just the
Just
way
not
that
taking
television. Well, the way that television works is the director generally doesn't affect the script, whereas in movies the director's word is God. In TV, it's the writer's word. The writer is above everyone else, and he was talking about how much that was a new experience for him, but that like it was like, no, you don't change the dialogue.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Let's get into our SFP, our Speed Force place, because my gosh, what a mind trip this was. They even said it. Trippy.
It was very trippy.
Very, very trippy. Of the people that Barry spoke to, Joe, Henry, Iris, Nora, which actually he spoke to none of them, but of those figures, which one did you guys feel like was the most poignant moment? Which character did you enjoy him spending time with the most?
I was gonna say I like Joe because I love the way Joe played it. You know, he was very cool, calm, and collected, and the way when he told him that we invented Trippy, I really enjoyed that. And that was the first time where he kind of introduced himself that it could be a sentient being, that Speed Force could actually be a being, and that really affected me. But you know, I think the Nora part was the most emotionally moving.
Okay, how'd you feel, Tauri?
For me, it's a tie between Henry and Nora, which makes the most sense because they're both his parents. But like, I felt like the Henry one was really like forcing Barry to kind of confront his own demons, and so he had him at the grave, which I thought was really nice and interesting, and it was a good way to motivate him. I mean, the Nora stuff was really touching, but at the same time, like I felt like it was necessary. So I guess it ranks a little lower in terms of the Henry versus Nora section.
Got it.
I really liked the Henry stuff. For I think basically what you were saying, Tauri, like it really had that was where the weight was. The emotional, like the emotion came out of Barry when he was with his mom, but like the weight of like what he had to deal with being in SFP was really all with Henry, and like that delivering of a message of like you need to. Like, this isn't just about, like, oh, we're giving you the Speed Force, or we're not. It's, like, this is about you connecting with yourself. It even made me think that, like, I'm going to throw this out at you guys. Like, what if this is all in Barry's head? Or at least the people are.
But where is he physically, then? If this is in his head...
Well, the idea that they sort of presented us with is that the Speed Force is not... something tangible that like you can really like be in the way that we're like on Earth, like
they will
in
be
3
there
dimensions.
from the start. They will be there until the end.
Yeah. So if you're outside the universe, then you're outside of space-time, which means that you don't necessarily need to be in a physical place. Right. So if he's moving that fast that he's within the Speed Force, then there doesn't necessarily have to be a physical embodiment of the whatever being is the Speed Force or whatever place he's in. So the voices may have just been his subconscious telling him, like, this is what you need to deal with to re-access this thing that you have been able to use, this part of the universe that you have access to.
That can work because when Cisco went to go get him, Barry was just standing there in a vortex. But meanwhile, when Barry heard him screaming, Barry was in SFP, like he was on land. But when Cisco first saw him, it was just he was nowhere near that.
Yeah,
so
right.
it could all been in his mind.
You could just been standing in that storm cloud the whole time.
That's crazy.
That's true. And the first second that we see him in that cloud blew my mind. I couldn't believe what that looked like. I mean, we've seen Vibe before, and we've seen him with all of these different images and whatnot. But to me, I thought the effects in this episode were brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, spot on. I was so excited about that. I feel like the Iris conversation, although I really enjoyed it, because of what we got later on and how cold the fake Iris was to him, it was like I just kept thinking to myself, I know it's not actually Iris, but like, I need some more affection from you right now. You're being so cold. And then when we got to the Nora part, did anybody else just feel so bad for him? Like when he says, I miss her, I miss you. He was, like you said, Zach, maybe it was in his mind, he was replacing his mom with this person who he's never accepted what he did. He never accepted it. And that line where he finally comes out and says, how could I ever accept what I've done? I thought that after 2 seasons, it was so justified.
Yeah.
Because we don't see him bring it up that much anymore. We don't talk about Nora that much, especially with Mother's Day as the timing.
That's true.
I thought that was really, really crazy. What did you guys think about this book? So we named the episode The Runaway Dinosaur. And this is a book that I guess Nora and Barry, she used to read to him. He is memorized, clearly. He's got it down. I don't think it's a real book. I don't know if it exists in the world.
I've never heard of it.
But how did you guys feel about this moment and the book in general?
When he recited it, it kind of got me. It was a nice moment. Like when she was saying, I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. But then when he finished her sentence by keep going, that kind of worked for me.
Yeah.
It tugged the heartstrings. Aww. You know what I mean? I felt sad.
That's real sweet.
You know, made a thug cry.
I thought it was a cute moment. I liked more when Iris brought up the point that neither of them had a reliable mother. Because, like, yes, the idea of the book is that essentially this dinosaur is special because he has a mom that loves him. But, like, not everybody has a mom that loves them. So, like, if anything, that should have been something that Barry ran from because that means that he's not special because he doesn't have a mother that loves him. So I found that really interesting, and I like that they brought it up.
So do you feel like the point they were trying to make is Barry is holding on to this book and holding on to this concept in his mind when really it might not even apply to him anymore?
Yeah. I mean, he's moved beyond the need for a mother's love to make him special. He is special because he's the Flash and because of what it's helped him to accomplish.
What do you think, Zach?
I really liked it. I mean, this was the moment with the mom, like the whole scene with her was like, it was an interesting dynamic. And this is what I was trying to figure out with, like, is this in his head? Is it because they sort of transition from like where he's like, who's telling me that? Is it my mom or the Speed Force? And they're saying both. So does that mean like when she died, she like became part of the Speed Force? Is that like what we're dealing with? And so, but if that's true, like, is it possible that Barry really was talking to his mom? And with that thought, I was, oh God.
Yeah, that got me going a little bit too. The one thing that I wasn't quite certain about the payoff on, I will say, is he's chasing this thing the whole time. He's in SFP. And then when he's finally ready, it comes to him. And conceptually, I love that.
Yeah.
Like, you can chase something all you want, but until you're ready to receive it, you're not going to get it. But I felt like the way that it just kind of came through the door, and he reached out his hand, and
like,
then all of a sudden, it was there. And then at the exact same time, the team was there for the second time, willing to accept it. Okay, it's television, so I'll buy it, but for me, I was like,
Yeah.
a little bit of a force. How do you guys feel about that moment when he finally does get what looked like a shadow all day?
I mean, I feel like you hit the nail on the head about the whole, like, you never find something until you are ready for it. I felt like that moment was good. Also, I kind of justified it in my own way in that, like, the Speed Force, as they said, like, kind of exists all throughout time. So the way that it kind of matched up would be that essentially once he was ready and once he was the Flash again, essentially, they put him in the space that he needed to be in order for them to grab him at that moment.
That works. I like that. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
I think it came at the right moment. I would have liked if we'd seen him like try to grab it a couple times, like be closer and have it like just out of reach. Like if it had zoomed by him, forgive the terminology. And he had reached out, but like he couldn't grab a hold of it, and he tried again. And then this is the time that he came through. I think it would have landed strong because it sort of just like ran up to him,
Right.
Yeah.
as opposed to like he chased it down, which they said he had to catch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sit, Barry, sit. Run, Barry, run. Catch, Barry, catch.
I was just more impressed with the fact that when he came back, he had his costume on. Because he got burned before
Yeah.
it got singed, so he should be butt naked. And he came back.
It was in SFP land. It was chilling there waiting for him.
They have a tailor there. It's
Yeah.
crazy. SFP Land's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it the same suit? It looked like almost like it was like slightly more streamlined than his old one.
Yeah, maybe they tailored it a little better. They're like, all right, we might as well freshen you up a little here, give you a manicure.
Look, we know a little bit. Like Cisco's great, but we got some Speed Force knowledge. To,
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Sometimes Cisco's working under a time crunch, so we got a little bit of time. We'll keep
Added
it
some
here.
aerodynamics. It looks good now. It's sleek.
So let's leave SFP land for a little bit, and let's talk about team. This is what the Scooby Gang, our team, everything they're working on. But before we get to that, speaking of teams, I know that Zach has something really cool to talk to us about.
Well, guys, in order to keep the AfterBuzz TV team going every week, we rely on our generous sponsors. And this week's sponsor is DraftKings. Experience the thrill of 1 week fantasy golf this week at DraftKings.com. Amazing prizes are up for grab every time you play, and it's easy. You just pick 6 golfers before a tournament tees off, stay under the salary cap, and rack up points based on how your players perform. If you outscore the competition, you win, and there's tons of cash prizes. This isn't just digital points. This is cash money.
I want some cash money.
Whether you're a complete golf enthusiast or you just love the thrill of fantasy sports, DraftKings brings you the excitement of the game to a whole new level. With every monster drive and made putt, you get closer to payday. And that's not the only sports. You can also do sports like basketball, MMA, soccer, all kinds of stuff. Baseball now is in season. You can play DraftKings for baseball too.
Really cool.
Millions of sports fans just like you have discovered DraftKings. Now it's your turn. And you can get a free game, a free round. It's free to try if you use the promo code BUZZ. That's BUZZ BUZZ at DraftKings.com. And your first deposit will be free for this week's fantasy golf contest. One more time, go to DraftKings.com and use the promo code BUZZ.
Awesome. Thank you, Zach. Now let's get into the Scooby Gang team. This team is lost without the Flash. All of a sudden, Flash is gone. 2 people are on the floor. It's Wally and Jesse. And I'm sitting there wondering in my mind, like, okay, what are the possibilities? What are the possibilities? The 2 of them just wake up and they're both speedsters. Like, they just jump right up and start running around. They both die. One of them dies. No idea. What were you guys thinking in this moment when they're both on the ground? How did you feel this was going to play out?
I was kind of shocked at how hurt they were.
How injured they were?
Yeah, that Jesse was in a coma, and that Wally was okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset that Wally wasn't in a coma now, because now it kind of looks like this might mean something for Jesse, and Wally's just walking around normal, so I'm kind of not happy about that.
Well, I was reading these like colored in picture books,
Yeah.
and I feel like something should be happening.
I know, right?
I was going to start the episode by dropping my mug and seeing if Michael would catch it.
Yeah, that one.
But then
Yeah.
I thought that the producers would get a little mad. So I
We're
didn't.
running out of mugs, Roxy. You keep doing that,
Yeah.
and none of us are speedsters.
But how awesome would that be? Now everywhere I go, I'm just gonna drop it and see. If anybody, Zach, I feel like you've come over here and this is your purpose. This is your reason.
I did
It's your
universe
time.
jump,
Yeah,
so
you did.
think about it.
I really think about it. How are you guys feeling about this?
I mean, I thought like it was gonna be like when she like doesn't have a heartbeat. It was gonna be because her heart is moving so fast he can't even detect the beat.
Or because she's from a different Earth and so different frequencies.
Well, but
or
he's
something?
from that.
Well, yeah, but maybe that's why it was the recovery. That's what I was
I
thinking.
don't know.
Sorry, keep going.
But like either way, like I was expecting it to be a turn, and then like she is like a speedster. But I feel like now after we didn't get anything, I would give it till the season finale, and one of them, or if not both, will pick up speed.
All right, Tauri.
I mean, I was kind of hoping they would both be in comas. I mean, not because I love
praying
people in
for
comas.
comas,
I
yeah.
just
They're in twin
hashtag
hospital
comas.
beds right next to each other.
Love
Yeah,
that.
like they become moss and minnows, so they always have to be touching in order
Yeah,
to
they're
go
crazy.
fast.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Pretty brilliant. I could see it.
But I mean, I still, because I think I had a theory earlier that Wally would become a speedster not by like speed force, but through like mechanics. So he'd like build a suit that would help him become a speedster. So I still hold to that. So I'm fine with him not being a speedster yet. I have mixed feelings about Jessie becoming speedster before Wally though. So I wait to see what that.
Yeah. Well, she's not. We don't know if she's won though yet.
But she just basically got a shot of
I know.
speed force.
It's a little jolt.
She feels closer to it than Wally does, at least.
She went through the coma.
Yeah. As we prayed for her to be in a coma.
It's like the
yeah,
cocoon.
it happened.
Yeah, we are very good people.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I hope they're both in comas.
I hope neither of them wake up for 9 months. Stay down. That's exactly how long our hiatus will be. Good, just sleep. Go ahead.
Do you think that it's because she got woken up so quickly that's why she doesn't have anything yet? That like maybe it just needs time to gestate?
I'm not sure she doesn't have anything.
That's true.
Like we
that's
didn't see any. Joe didn't drop a mug around her, so I'm not exactly. Her next line, the next thing out of her mouth could be, "I feel kind of funny." Like
How
Zip
long
zap.
was it? I'm trying to remember back now from when Barry woke up to when he first ran.
do you have the chat open right now? Is that what you're looking at?
It was sort of like down, but I can bring it
Yeah,
up.
because I would like their help a little bit here because I don't remember exactly when we realized, holy crap, Barry's the Flash. Well, I know we knew going into a show called The Flash, but I don't remember when he woke up from the coma, how quick it was. So hopefully you guys can help us in the chat room as we continue this conversation.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. Help us out.
Who's really interesting to me, though, because while some of our players were down, one of our key players really stepped up, and I felt like that was Iris tonight. She had one line I didn't like about, ew, you have a morgue? Which just seemed out of place to me. Like, she's a journalist, and you know this place really well. Like, they have a frickin' morgue. But when she decides to go down to the morgue, and Cisco's like, get behind me, and she's like, you get behind me. That's right. Yeah, woman power.
Yeah.
I thought that was really, really freaking cool, and I just loved watching her and Cisco go down there, and the iZombie references didn't hurt.
Yeah.
There are a couple of references. I think they made a Wayward Pine reference too, when they said, I think he said Abby Normal when they called the zombie Abby. I mean,
Oh my god, I lost.
So I think that was Wayward Pine. That was a Wayward Pine.
no,
reference,
that's
wasn't it?
that's a Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Oh, is that young?
reference.
Okay.
It's Abby somebody. Abby Normal.
Oh,
Maybe
okay,
Wayward
okay.
Pines picked it up too. It's like very famous, so they could have.
Yeah, and Wayward,
Yeah,
cause
they-
Wayward Pines, they call them the Abbies, the monsters that are over the thing. They call them Abbies.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Frankenstein's monster. They take he takes an abnormal brain to put in the monster, and he's like, "Whose brain did you take?" Abby. Abby Normal.
Okay.
They make another Young Frankenstein reference later in the episode.
Jeez.
What was the other?
They like literally said they called him Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So what did we think about our zombie, our Girder, Tony, zombie strange man who had been down in the morgue for just so long?
Random.
Did you guys like him as our monster of the week?
I mean, he was harmless enough. Yeah. Like it was like a weird way to have a bottle episode, and that like he doesn't affect the whole Zoom plot line, and like it's a way to keep them busy. That doesn't have them constantly being like, how do we get Barry back? Yeah. So like it gives a nice distraction. So I though it was a little random, I enjoyed it. I wish he had done a little bit more damage, though.
Yeah, it would have been... It was a little sudden. Like, everything that happened was interesting, but, like, other than, like, being reminded in the previously on that this character was there was no, like, we had no previous, like, talk about him being in the morgue, that this body was down there, that, like, this was even a remote possibility. And, like, that's fine, like, introducing a new, like, magical thing, or a new element to the universe, but him coming in was so just like, oh, by the way, there's a body in the morgue and now it's running around.
Yeah.
Right, for the particle accelerator.
If Zoom had set it up in some way as a trap, then like I get the build, but I think Tauri hit it on the nail, hit the nail on the head right there.
I think that we just didn't have time to deal with a legitimate threat.
Yeah.
And I think that they knew that. Like, if we really, our Scooby Gang was like, all right, we've got a real big bat on our hands this week. We still don't even have Caitlin back. We didn't even have Barry. Like, my mind is not focused on whoever you're sending at us right now. So I felt like he was the perfect level of, I know we can tackle this. And by the end, we did need Barry's help. So I thought that was cool.
I think it would have been cool if I think I would have preferred. And I like the zombie thing. I liked him. I like the Colossus-esque powers that he has. It would have been cool if they used it to build up maybe another character from that same world that we might see later on, like say the Pied Piper who came back. It would have been cool if maybe they could have used those times, those moments in the show as just instead of the zombie character, it probably could have been a Pied Piper side episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to build up something
not
else.
Pied Piper, because Pied Piper is good now.
Yeah.
Because of but I get what you're saying.
But even if him as a good guy, just a chance to build him up in this world, so when we do see him again next season, it's not going to be so random, or it won't be so like, oh, I remember you from last season. You
Right.
came back and now you're good, right?
Like
Yeah.
they
You know?
brought him in
But-
to help with the.
The reason I think it was a little better this way is because we did have an immediate threat that pushed us to get Barry back.
Yeah.
Like, we're stuck in a room and we're all going to die. So when I say that it wasn't like a huge big bad, it was big and bad enough that
Okay.
we needed to get Barry. So I enjoyed having him there. And then I can't even describe how much I loved the hashtag WestAllen moment as finally now we're merging our SFP and our team on our Earth One, and the circles moving around them and their faces, and her being his anchor and the one that can talk to him, and oh my god, like I felt like I've been waiting for this moment for my entire life. I thought it was perfect.
You mean when she pulls him in?
Yeah, just that one hand thing when he looks at her, and it was like, remember last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever, and she says, "You have something to come home to." Mm-hmm. Not only does he have something to come home to, he has somebody who's going to bring him home. And oh my God, I thought it was perfectly done. How did you guys feel about the WestAllen moment there?
When she bogarts Harry Allen's moment.
I thought she was bogarting Cisco's moment. I'm like, this is Cisco's chance to like use his powers and like get his buddy back, and she's like, Cisco's not even in the background of the storm cloud.
Yeah, but why do we need a Cisco Flash moment here?
Some bromance.
You really want to see him bro out, and Cisco be like, "Come on, bro, we need you home."
I mean, Cisco and Iris were kind of broing up. Do you see the way that they grabbed hands?
Yeah, like old Scottish buddies.
Oh my God, you guys are WestAllen heartless right now. It was perfect in my eyes, and I loved seeing that. And I loved that we got him back. I loved he saved the day. I think I enjoyed him waking up Jesse.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Although we still don't know exactly what that means.
It could mean that he's like he's way more powerful now, and maybe he's like one with the Speed Force. Like he
Right.
is the Speed Force.
Well, that's kind of what
Well,
they
he is.
say.
Yeah, but but if that's the case, that means he like controls everything, almost godlike. Like, you know,
Right.
like when he touched her, like he controls the Speed Force in her now too.
So if she does have the Speed Force, and let's say the Speed Force is what was keeping him in the coma originally,
Yeah.
then he him playing with it or doing whatever he needs to do sort of takes her out of it. By the way, the chat got back to us. It was the first time he used the Speed Force was when he went to see Iris in the coffee shop in Jitters. So like right after that. So thank you, Cunningham H and several other people who were in it. But so he did it. Maybe it was what was it, like an hour later or so.
Okay.
Like
But we've only seen Jesse for, I don't know, 5 seconds.
yeah, so it's very possible that, and I think there was a trigger because it was the waitress dropping things that like set him off to catch it. So he needs somebody needs to drop a mug.
Yeah.
What would you guys have done if I legitimately started the episode like that?
I would have
oh,
just
damn.
stared at it and
Taking off
that's
my
not true,
shirt and
Zach.
cleaning
maybe
it up.
I know that's not true about you. You would have caught that. I took that to a weird place. Very strange.
Real quick about the Speed Force.
No
say
comment.
the Speed Force is like the big power above everyone, right? And it like disperses into whoever is a speedster.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now that Barry Allen is part of the Speed Force, he's part of that big, that big power in the sky, technically.
Right.
He's part of the SFP.
Yeah. So
Yes.
so that means, now he should be completely exceeded Zoom now, right? Like because Zoom takes power from the Speed Force.
Well,
Barry is the Speed
Don't
Force.
forget that we're not quite there yet, but we're not just going up against Zoom anymore.
Right.
I think that's why we had to elevate what the threat is.
yeah, I would say I don't think he is like one with the Speed Force necessarily,
Okay.
but the Speed Force is like now like
He's the chosen one of the Speed Force.
yeah, I think it's that like the idea is that he was holding back effectively, like not meaning to, but like because he was so attached and like refusing to acknowledge what happened to his mom, he was holding back from what he was even capable of. So he's
Right.
been capable of more
Okay.
than Zoom from the start.
And if you take out the word speed and you just go with the force, like it kind of makes exact sense. Like he is one with the force, but he's the light, and we're about to go against the dark.
Yeah.
Use the Speed Force, Barry.
Exactly. Okay, so then, I guess the WestAllen moment I described wasn't even my favorite WestAllen moment of the episode. We get an actual legitimate conversation, two-sided, because last week, Iris kind of was like, here's how I feel, and
Here
Barry's
it
like,
is.
I think I'm going to go die now, like BRB. And now he responds, and I was thinking, wow, with this response, we will get the most epic,
Yeah.
romantic, wonderful cheek kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, mwah.
We got a cheek kiss.
You're the best
cheek
sister
kiss?
ever.
So I love the conversation. I love the interaction. And then, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I don't want them to move so fast. Like, I don't want them to strip her down and start doing in the dirty right there.
Especially where
Doing
they
her
are.
the dirty.
Right, but
They're
like
right on his mother's grave.
Doing her the dirty.
totally true. But like a little kid, like not even open mouth, just
Yeah.
like maybe a mouth to
Yeah,
mouth.
like a peck on the lips.
It's almost the kiss on the cheek almost to me feels like loaded against WestAllen in a way. I'm not saying that's where I want it to be, but like if it wasn't gonna be an actual kiss, like why do anything? Why not just go for the hug?
Yeah.
That like familial like.
It felt like
kiss.
he went for more, and she like dodged it.
Yeah.
It felt like that awkward moment where I don't know why they did that to us.
Guys, it's like a first date, okay?
Look, I've been in that situation with the dodge. I don't think it was a dodge.
No, no, you're right. I'm making a joke, but like, I do think either a hug and then we see their real kiss later. But like, now does this count as like what is that?
To me, it sounded like he was saying, "I don't know what this is, what we can be." I don't think he's decided yet, but he is saying, "You are, regardless, you are the most important person." Like, what was the quote? Like,
The sound of your voice will always bring me home.
That was sweet.
And like
I
that was
loved that.
that was such a great moment.
And the taste of your lips will always keep me here. is what was said in my mind. But that is not what we saw.
He whispered it. That was the kiss he was coming.
Yeah, she was his mom proxy in that moment.
Yeah.
So he was like, "You're my mom now."
Even weirder.
Yeah.
Even weirder.
So much weirder. Do we think that Barry finally, not in SFP, but on Earth 1, going to Nora's grave is going to help us move forward from that story and help him move on and accept what he did?
I think so. I'm hoping so, but I'm thinking, and me and Tauri shared an eye moment during the ending of the episode. I'm thinking it's just opening up for another tragedy at the final episode.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. I think we're good with the mom.
All right, we're getting predictions.
Yeah,
Don't tell
not
me
yet.
what
I'm
it
just
is
saying.
yet.
Well, I'll say it later, but
All
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
that's what I think is gonna happen. It's gonna be a little tragedies.
Oh, no. All right, what did you think, Zach?
I mean, about
That him going to the grave, is this gonna give us some closure, or?
I mean, to me, this episode closed out the storyline with him and his mom. This was the cap, and it was a beautiful way to cap it. Like, I think like everyone really was brought together in this episode. I think this finished that, and so he can move forward. And like somebody could even like throw it in his face in some way, and I think he would be able to brush it off now.
Oh,
like
okay.
I think he has emotionally dealt with his mother's storyline, which you're right sets him up because he's too good now. Some bad's gonna happen.
So bad.
We get a glimpse. This might not be the something you guys are referring to, but we definitely know something bad is about to go down when we see the Flash. You know, they end the episodes like that, and then you always know if they come back, something really bad's gonna take place. And we come back, and Zoom is talking to our dear, as he calls her, Kate, which I'm like, don't call her that. Our dear Caitlin. And he says, if you stay here, then I know you're with me. And if not, you're against me like the rest of them. And I'm thinking, all right, he's got to go talk to his friends. Like, who's he going to talk to? He's got his, like, little minions. Maybe he's got his own, you know, Killer Frost kind of people out there, 2, 3. You're kidding me. We talked about bringing the army of metahumans. Oh, my. How are we supposed to defeat this? What are we... We don't even have that much time left this season. Like, is this setting up next season? What did you guys think about this? The army, how are you feeling?
It looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
It looks great.
To me, this is more evidence that we're going to have, at minimum, 2 speedsters on our side before the end of the season. Probably 3, because like
That
otherwise,
was my prediction from
Damn it,
last
mine
week.
too.
You must have watched our show.
how else could you do it?
Yeah.
At this point, like, because there's no way Barry and like Vibe can
Yeah.
take
Well,
on.
maybe that's-
no, not that Vibe's not powerful, but I don't see any way that the 2 of them.
Right.
But
Speed Force, Barry.
Vibe gets more of his powers. We see he's capable of more. We bring back Pied Piper. Maybe we do get 2 more speedsters. Iris uses her investigative skills, all of those things.
She writes a
Also-
scathing article about Zoom.
Zoom also kills a lot of
Slanderous.
his underlings. So, I mean, I think he'll do half the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pissing him off. Let's jump to predictions because I feel like we're getting there a little bit.
Do you guys know Jason Mewes was in the
Now, your
in the
AFTERBUZZ
crowd?
TV.
Wait, I completely forgot to mention we didn't even talk about the scene with him and Big Belly.
Yeah, I mean, so Jason Mewes was in the scene with Big Belly Burger. But then, if you look, there was that guy in almost like a Black Storm, like a TIE fighter pilot helmet in the back, like left corner. That was Jason Mewes.
Yes,
Oh,
you're right. I
nice.
forgot about that. That's true. Yeah,
Wow.
they said that in the Batman vs. The Fat Man on Batman podcast. He did. I forgot that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They hit him. Kevin Smith hit him twice. In the episode.
So that's freaking awesome. I love that. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's my mom's car.
I know.
He screamed it too. It was perfect. What do we think Caitlin's decision is going to be? Like a yes or no from you guys. Does she stay with Zoom?
I think she leaves to warn the crew.
So no.
Yeah. No.
I think she stays to get intel, and then once all the fighting happens, she kind of tells everyone what's going on.
So
Yeah.
yes. And
Yes, she stays and plays double agent.
Okay, very cool. I could see it. What do we think from the Speedsters? Do we think by the end of this season we are going to have 3 Speedsters?
Yes.
By the end of the season, I don't think so.
Don't watch
I
your
think
mouth.
I think
Tauri.
at most 2. We'll have Barry and Jesse, and I think Wally's arc will be a little bigger for next season. He needs his own arc into
be
becoming
upset.
a hero. I don't want it to be happenstance. I want it to be very deliberate.
Okay. What do you think?
I think similar to those lines. I'm gonna go with Jesse gets right as they're they're on the dire straits. Jesse gets her speed powers. I think we're gonna end the last shot of the season is gonna be a little
WestAllen.
blue, like electricity flowing around Wally.
Oh,
Like just a little and then cut to black, and
I
we have
like
to wait
that.
several months.
That was
see,
good.
that's so much cooler. Like you think about you're thinking about how we're gonna get Wally there, and I think about that too. But the romantic inside me, just the shipper, is like we're gonna end on a real WestAllen kiss. We're gonna get a real one. Any other predictions from you guys?
I think the bad thing that's going to happen
Yeah.
to Barry is going to be his father isn't going to make it by the end
Which
of the
one?
season. Oh, sorry, Henry. Sorry, Henry.
Henry. Okay.
Yeah, Henry's a goner.
Henry's gone.
He shouldn't have said he was
Henry.
gonna stay in his life. That's
Henry's
a
done.
death sentence in comic books.
The
Yeah.
problem is we know that he can't stay. So when he says he decides to stay,
It's over.
He's dead. And if he's not dead, then he leaves for some reason, goes to another Earth. They can't get him back or something, and he's gone for a while. But I agree that something's going to happen to him. Any last predictions?
Did you just with what we saw next episode? Did you see? I think there's some version of Hawkman or Hawkgirl
and Laurel.
in the team. Oh yeah, this is that whole
But not
thing. I just saw a wing in that big fight scene.
Yeah.
Somebody was flying.
We got some of our regular DC TV people coming back.
Oh, I didn't even think that it could be our Hawkgirl.
Oh.
I was thinking it was a Earth 2 version of them who's fighting with Zoom.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. I don't know. It'll be interesting to find out. Zach, thank you so much for joining us
Yeah,
this
thanks
week.
for having me, guys.
For wearing the shirt, for being Team DC. If the people want to say how awesome you are and push you back to come on the show, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at @ZachWilson, ThatZachWilson. And immediately after this, I'm jumping back to Earth 199999 to talk Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and we're going to be reviewing Civil War because this week's episode directly tied into the movie.
Okay, we'll allow it. We'll allow it. Tari, how about you?
You can find me at Tauri J, TauriJay, on Instagram as well as Twitter.
What?
Welcome to Instagram.
Oh my god, I love it!
Finally.
I didn't even know. Michael, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Micheal_Drew, Michael EAL.
And you guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar. You can find us at AfterBuzz TV, AfterBuzzTV.com, YouTube.com/AfterBuzzTV, on iTunes, on SoundCloud, wherever you are. Give us that 5-star, that thumbs up, write a comment. We read everything you guys have to say. You are the best fans ever. Thank you again to Kevin Smith for this episode. You were awesome. We'll see you next week. Jeff Masters will be back with
Yes.
us. You can tweet at him at JeffMasters1. See you next week, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
I think
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.